so how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. All right, so just to go over a couple things before the beginning of our appointment here. Just to let you know, I am a student in training, and the purpose of this session is for a counseling class. The video could be potentially watched by some of my classmates or by my professor, and it is audio and video recording. Is that something that you're comfortable with?
Yeah.
Okay. If at any time that you feel uncomfortable, I can always go back and erase a portion of it or erase the whole video. Okay, so just let me know at any time. Also, anything that is discussed during this session will remain confidential. Remain confidential. Thank you. And again, that will only be possibly seen by my classmates and my professor. Okay. And again, this whole point of the session is to kind of focus on my skills and kind of less on what you're talking about. Just one other thing too. You and I are different people. We come from different backgrounds and different culture and religion. So if at any time I'm not understanding something that you are trying to convey to me, just go ahead and stop me at any time and let me know. I just want to try to be on the same page with you, and I want to make sure that we don't have any misunderstanding at all, okay? And again, so this session is kind of just for you. I know last time we talked about kind of just some general family things and some school stuff, so I guess you can kind of talk about whatever you think you would like to talk about today.
Okay. Well, I think one of the main things I was thinking about talking about was with school. Just kind of getting ready for the stress that's going to be coming with finals.
Okay.
I know, well, I'm not too stressed out about a few of my classes. One of my classes, we have a comprehensive final, and for me, it's a difficult class. Just getting all my notes all organized and getting everything in a way that I can understand. The notes kind of don't seem clear to me, so I have to go back and do a lot of readings, which is very time consuming. And I just don't feel like I have a whole lot of time to do that. But for my other classes, I have a big project. It's for statistics class, which is not my forte at all. And I'm just kind of getting started on it, and I know a lot of my classmates it seems like they've already gotten their ideas and they're kind of formulating it, and I'm still struggling with an idea. I've emailed my professor several times, and it's a little frustrating because I emailed him about an idea that I had, and he kind of made it seem like that wasn't the best idea, and so I've gone around and around in circles with him. And then I just got an email today where he was saying, oh, you should do this kind of test, and that's what I had said in the beginning. So I feel like I could have been spending all this time working on it already, but just kind of lack of communication, I guess.
Okay.
So
it sounds like you're a little frustrated with a couple of the end of the semester projects.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how do you handle some of that stress?
I usually just kind of get through it by not sleeping, not doing anything. That's probably not the best way to handle things, but I'm the type of person who I'd rather have it done than having to think about it. So I just kind of try to get it done as quickly and efficiently as possible. I know I've been focusing more so on all these other projects and not studying for my AMP class, which is the comprehensive one. And that's really stressing me out because I would rather be spending my time on that because I know it's going to be a difficult time for me.
Okay. So it sounds like in general you're just kind of feeling lots of different kind of emotions of frustration and stressful. And do you think you're alone in that, or do you think that some of your classmates are feeling that way as well?
I think all my classmates are probably feeling that way.
That must make you feel a little bit more at ease, though.
Yeah, a little bit. And then when we got our midterm back for our AMP class, at first I wasn't really sure how to feel about my grade. I didn't get, the highest grade in the class. I think I got an 82 or 83, and it was good to see. She showed us a curve of how everybody did on the test. So it was good to see that I was in a spot with everybody else, kind of. But I'm just kind of wondering where I'm at in the class, really. I kind of forgot everything since that last test, so I'm kind of trying to figure out how to start studying and how to best use my time, I guess. So.
That can kind of be a struggle of time. There never seems to be enough time in the day.
Right. Especially now with everything's coming to an end with all these classes and then the holidays and everything.
It seems that everything kind of catches up all at once. So.
Right.
So going back on kind of just managing your stress, do you do any sort of? I mean, do you like to work out? Do you like to meditate or relax or?
I used to work out a lot. When I would get stressed, I would always go on the treadmill and stuff, and I can't ever put anything down, so I'd bring like my note cards on the treadmill and stuff. But I haven't been doing that ever since, ever since I started grad school, because it's, I feel like it's time away from what I could be studying. I know it's probably not the best way to think about things, but I don't really take breaks at all. Because when I do, I always kind of think I could be studying. So it doesn't feel very relaxing to me.
Yeah. Well, maybe if it's been something in the past, has it been something that's worked well for you to take time away though and relieve a little stress?
Yeah. It depends on the class and everything, but it has helped, I think.
Okay. Maybe that's something that you could squeeze in between, just maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes of just getting your mind off of school. It sounds like it can be really consuming for you.
Maybe something with like 10, 15 minutes would be a better idea. I tend to think about it like an hour, a couple hours, and working out, but that's an idea though.
It doesn't have to be something that takes up too much time, just enough time to, turn off your brain from one thing and redirect and focus to studying. Because I know that can be pretty challenging, and I'm sure grad school is very challenging for you. So how, in general, is school going? I mean, you're talking about finals, but how did you feel about the semester?
It was pretty good. I know a lot of people said that this was supposed to be our easiest semester, and I think it was. I mean, so far. But I feel like we, as a class, we still had a lot going on, a lot of projects to do. So it's not like we were taking a break or anything like that. But yeah, this semester was pretty good. Nothing too difficult, I guess. I'm just kind of thinking about next semester, and I know I have to not think about that yet and just focus on this semester, but I'm already thinking about all that. It's my stress.
Sounds like sometimes it's hard to just focus on one thing when you're in a program that's kind of continuous.
Definitely.
So talk to me a little bit about clinic.
Clinic is good. My supervisor, Dr. Billingsley, she has told me that I've had more appointments than anybody else this semester. They were all hearing aid checks, so it's not like I got more experience than anybody, but she said that I have had so many appointments that, like, today, for example, I would have had clinic, but she told me I didn't have to. And then she actually during exam week, she took away my whole time slot for testing for some first years, so I don't have to do that. So that made me happy because that's during exams. But yeah, I think that I would have definitely liked to have more time doing a variety of appointments. I've mostly only done hearing aid checks and a few hearing aid fits. So I feel like I have a good grasp on the actual like hearing aids and working with hearing aids and all that. I definitely need more help on the evaluations and stuff like that.
Okay.
But that will come, like, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about last time we discussed that you were still very much on the fence of wanting to potentially continue to do clinical work or take another route in audiology. You still feeling that way, or?
I think I still like the idea of kind of doing half and half. I think this semester actually I've learned to like clinic more, kind of talk more with the patients and get to know them on a personal level. And that's something that I had actually talked to my supervisor about. She had mentioned that I could probably do a better job like speaking with them and engaging with them. And I'm glad that she pointed that out because it really helped me and pushed me to make that happen. And it was easier than I thought. So, but it definitely opened my eyes to actually working with patients and not just treating it like an appointment, like something I have to get through, but more as something like we're two people, we're trying to get to a common goal. So yeah, I think I kind of like clinic more than I thought.
You seem like you're a lot more happier about it, that it's less of a burden for you.
Yeah.
That's really good to see. Do you think part of that is kind of goes to your supervisor? I know that
Definitely.
each one of them can be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Dr. Billingsley. She kind of gives me a lot of independence. At first it was very scary to have all that independence, but like she'll leave the room with me, or she'll leave the room and have me work on a hearing aid by myself. She'll just sit in the corner and grade papers while I'm doing everything. And at first that was like horrifying to me, but it actually, I think it helped me get through it, and she's still there to if I have a question or whatever, but it definitely helped me to learn and kind of realize that that's more of my learning process, to actually get hands-on experience and do it on my own instead of have somebody else do it. So I'm gonna miss her if I have to change supervisors.
Yeah, I think that can be hard. Change is sometimes hard, but it sounds like it's been a good thing for you for this semester.
Yeah, it has.
Is there a chance that you can stay with her, or how does that work?
There might be a chance. It kind of depends on. I know she's the one who makes the schedule. I know she told me that I'm definitely going to be on check-ins next semester because I haven't had that yet. But I have no idea who my supervisor would be. There's 4 main supervisors that I could go with, and I've been with Dr. Shecklong, I've been with Dr. Kittner, I've been with Dr. Billingsley now. So it's kind of I don't know if it just rotates around or what, but it could be anybody.
So the one that's left, is that?
Yeah, that's Dr. Cheney. So she's newer. She just got here in the middle of the semester. I kind of assumed that she would probably be with the third years, but I don't know how that's going to work next semester because she was with the third years mostly this semester.
Okay.
I don't know if that means it's the same thing that's going to happen next semester, so that could happen too. And she works with kids a lot, so it's definitely something I'm not comfortable with. Well, not that I'm not comfortable with it, it's just I haven't had a lot of experience with it.
Okay. Just tell me a little bit more about that. Do you have a lot of experience with kids?
I didn't up until a few years ago. I kind of wanted to see how I felt like working with kids. So I worked at it's called Wisconsin Early Autism Project. So I worked with kids in their homes doing therapy for kids with autism, and I loved it. I didn't think I would love it at all, and I absolutely loved it. So that kind of got me thinking more about how I like working with kids. Probably not all kids all the time, but I don't mind them, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you did work with more of a challenging population, though. So that's definitely it. And you kind of lit up right when you talked about that, and you seemed like that was a really rewarding experience for you.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about that. When did you work there?
So I did that right after I took a year off between my undergrad and then when I went to grad school. So I did that in that year. And so I worked with, the first one I worked with was a little boy. And for some reason, we just connected. Like, I know it seems kind of weird, but like, he was only 3 and we would work together and it just seemed like maybe it was a little too easy for me because, you know, that it gets difficult working with kids in that population. Mm-hmm. But like he would do everything that I told him to do, and we would work on skills and stuff, and he was usually pretty good. So that was really rewarding for me. And then I actually worked with 2 twin girls who were deaf, and they had autism.
Okay.
So I worked with them together. That kind of helped me to kind of get into this field too. Well, I knew I was going to go into this field, but put in their hearing aids every day and kind of got some experience with that and got some experience with sign language and everything.
So it sounds like that kind of confirmed your passion of wanting to come into audiology.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I miss it.
Do you? Is that something you would ever want to go back to at all? I mean, in terms of part-time or volunteering?
Yeah, I kind of, I was actually looking into if there was anything like that around here. They have something, it's in Geneva, and they have a few openings of people who need therapy in like the Sycamore area. Mm-hmm. But they needed a commitment of like 6 months, and I wasn't sure if I should do that and everything with school and stuff. But I do think about going back into that sometime. I don't know if it's a thing that you can do part-time really, but I like it still.
Yeah, it sounds like it was very rewarding.
Yeah.
So do you, you said that the time thing was kind of something that you didn't know about with the commitment. How is your time going? Because you're balancing a couple different things right now.
Yeah. Like I think if it happened around like now, I would have been able to balance it better. But it's just kind of the fact that next semester we're gonna have, I think it's 13 credits now, and they've just added another class for us, so that's nice. But it just seems like it's gonna be a lot of work to handle.
How do you feel about that? Is that just a scary feeling of kind of walking into the unknown with it, or are you ready for it?
I'm ready. In one sense, I'm ready for it. I like to be busy, and I like the idea of being able to, like right now in this semester, I don't feel like a lot of our classes are geared towards audiology, so I'm glad to be getting back into that. I guess the workload is very scary, but at the same time, I know that my class, we all work really well together, and I know that we can all kind of handle it together. We'll probably all be living at the clinic every single day and night, but I do have a good support group, and I think that we can work through it together and kind of support each other and help each other out.
Yeah, that's really important to have a good, solid support group, whether it's family or friends, but sounds like your classmates are a big part of that support system.
Yeah, we're all really close, I think. We get along mostly, for the most part. And I think we're all at a level where we understand everything at a certain level, so like if one person doesn't understand something, someone else can easily explain it to them, and it goes both ways, and I think that that's good to have. It's not just one person who understands it having to teach everybody, but it's the fact that everybody can kind of bring something to the table and work together like that. So
yeah, I'm sure that's not the case for all of the classes, so
Mhm.
We're kind of lucky to get that. So it's
Yeah.
good. So just kind of going back on things. So you worked with children that had autism, and you said that you really like working with like your classmates and with your GA. Do you like find yourself that you enjoy kind of like teaching and being in that kind of position of things?
Yes, I do. I like that a lot. I was actually thinking before audiology, I was kind of throwing around the idea of being a teacher.
Okay.
I don't know if that's something that I want. It's like the same thing with working with kids. I'm not sure if I want to like work with them all the time. That's kind of why I didn't want to be a teacher. But I have actually thought about. I think about a lot of different ways to go with this audiology career. I've thought about being like in a teaching position. If I don't know if I understand it all yet. So, but I definitely thought about. I like the TA aspect of it. I like the, being a teaching assistant and everything.
It sounds like it's kind of a rewarding where you can help people.
Yeah.
Like you're already in a helping profession, but it's a different kind of helping. So your supervisors, are they just audiologists, or how does that? Because you mentioned that you might want to be in a position like that.
Yeah, so we have like professors who teach the academic side, and then we have our clinical supervisors who are more so in the clinic, who are like supervising us and everything. They have taught classes and stuff, so they can definitely do that. They're all completely knowledgeable about everything, so that's how that works.
So is there still a portion of audiology that kind of interests you? I know there's lots of different fields of it, or portions of audiology.
I think I'm still really interested in the research side. I'm not exactly sure like what exactly like the field that I am interested in and what I want to research, but I like the idea of reading what other people have found and seeing if I can expand on it or if I can replicate those ideas. You know, it's very time consuming and stuff.
It sounds like you enjoy a good challenge, though. You know, that you like to keep yourself busy, that you like to, a couple of your jobs have been a little bit challenging too, and so it sounds like you're kind of up for those tasks sometimes.
Keep myself busy.
Yeah. So another thing that we talked about last time was family and your mom and how is she doing?
She's good. I think she's happier.
That's good.
I think last time I talked to you about my uncle and everything and how he was doing. But yeah, as far as I know, there hasn't been a whole lot of new developments with that side of the family.
Okay.
So as far as I know, every time I talk to my mom, like on the phone or something, she doesn't really mention it. There was one time that she just kind of started talking and I listened, and it was just nothing new. It was just rehashing old things that she was upset about. And she actually mentioned it's weird. Seems like every year around the holidays, especially Thanksgiving, he does something. My uncle does something that is just not good. It's weird. Like I don't know why it happens all the time at this time, but it adds to everybody's stress levels and everything. So it's kind of like we're all waiting for something to happen.
Okay.
So I really hope nothing happens because, well, for obvious reasons, we don't want anything to happen. And just that my mom has been seeming happy right now, so I don't want her to get down again, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like that's hard to watch your mom kind of feel all those feelings and feel frustrated.
Yeah.
And it's always hard when you have conflict within the family.
Yeah, and it's hard because, like, whenever I have a problem, I will tell her that, but it's so weird to see the other side, like my mom's emotions and my mom actually telling me things and then me kind of acting like the one that's supporting her and telling her what she should do or how to feel about something.
Yeah.
It's like a reversal.
Yeah, that's very different. I can actually relate to that. Just watching my dad lose his puppy and having to kind of be the strong one for him. It's definitely a kind of a role reverse, and it's challenging
Very
sometimes.
strange.
Mm-hmm. How's your sister doing?
She's good. I don't remember if I told you before how I just kind of feel like I'm kind of not as close with her as I used to be. I'm getting excited for Thanksgiving so I can actually see her and everything, but it just seems a little strange that she doesn't really text me. She never calls me. I know I could do more, but it's weird because I've actually talked more to friends or people that I've just met on a level that is more kind of deeper. And then with her, it's just like, if she does text me, it's like, look at this funny picture or something from the internet. And it just doesn't seem like there's much there. So it feels kind of, I don't know, and I've talked to my mom about it too. And my sister kind of it seems like she has a weird personality.
Okay.
She's very closed off from everybody. It's not just me. It's always been closed off. I don't know. I guess like I feel like I'm kind of more reserved and stuff, and people see that. But if they saw my sister, they wouldn't think I'm reserved anymore. I'm the outgoing one. But it's weird because just I guess the fact that I'm not around her, she doesn't really think about me, and I don't know. That's kind of upsetting to me because I still think about her, and I don't want her to think that I don't want her to think that I think I'm better than her or anything, because she's still living at home with my parents, and I've heard a lot from my mom that my sister it kind of seems like she's, I don't know if I want to say jealous, but kind of like envious of the fact that I'm doing my own thing and everything. But I mean, she still has a job, and she's on her way to getting her own apartment and everything too. But it just kind of seems like she's more distant than usual. I think it's because I don't see her a lot.
So tell me a little bit about the relationship that you used to have.
Well, when we were really little, we were like inseparable. We were best friends and everything. We got older, and I mean, nothing ever happened that like we would fight about or that we were against each other about. I think that starting in like high school or so, she had a friend that wasn't the best influence on her. Nothing like bad or anything, but just kind of like as far as how you view the world. And this friend was like, I hate everybody, I hate the world. And I think my sister was very much influenced by her. And so sometimes I think even though she doesn't talk to this person that much, I still think that she kind of has those ideas in her head. And sometimes I think she just needs to like step back and actually like look at the world and how other people view it too. It's not as bad as you think. I mean, I know everybody has their issues and their problems, but it seems like I don't know, it's just kind of weird how I don't know what's in her mind because she doesn't ever say anything. She keeps everything bottled up.
Have you ever thought about talking with her and trying to work through some of those feelings?
I've thought about it, but I have no idea how to like say anything because I feel like lately everything's been extremely awkward with her. And I feel like if I were to say anything, that it would like make it worse, I guess. Like I don't want to lose her anymore, and I feel like if I say anything to her, that she might like stay away from me even more. And it's already not even non-existent. It seems like, so I don't want her to run away. I guess.
Right. Well, maybe with Thanksgiving coming up, that you can, sorry, to sneeze. Sorry, with Thanksgiving coming up, maybe you can kind of just want to not ignore it, but you can kind of just see how your relationship is and it's what kind of mood she's in, and if it comes up, you could maybe just say, you know, I noticed you've been really down lately and really stressed, and it's not me, right? And maybe you could focus on just your relationship that you guys have together, and hopefully she won't get defensive, but maybe that's kind of a starting point of where you can go with that.
Yeah.
And I think that actually kind of leads us up to the end of this session. So I think as far as homework, I think that would kind of be a big thing, to kind of just see if you can work on that a little bit, since it sounds like you kind of miss that relationship that you used to have with her, and that she has been pretty distant, and maybe she is looking for someone to reach out to her. So maybe kind of take that into consideration, and then maybe we can bring that into the next session, and we can talk about how that went, and good luck with finals, and try to take some time to relax a little bit, and not get no sleep, and make sure you take care of yourself. Yeah, and thank you, and I guess I'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, thank you.